welcome to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Championships, live from the Stratford Rotary Complex here in Stratford, Ontario. A cold spring morning here in cold, blistery southern Ontario, as we got a great matchup here featured for you today between Quebec numbers 2's Julianne Fortin out of the Kenoganemi Curling Club and Prince Edward Island's Rachel Mclean. My name's Andrew Denny. I'm joined on my right by Mr. Sean Turriff. Sean, how are you feeling this morning?
I'm great, Andrew. Thanks for asking. How
Excellent. I'm always great. I got a hot coffee here in the booth, got some live curling ready to go. And this game may be a story of two teams who are trying to change their fortunes. A little bit of hard luck as Quebec currently sits at 0-4 and the Prince Edward Island rink sitting at a record of 1-3. Getting started right away here.
Top 8, guys.
And that's Prince Edward Island lead Abby Barker getting us started.
As far as you can take
and Quebec having the hammer in the first end by virtue of the practice draw to the pin or last stone delivery.
You got it. You got it. You got it. Good.
And the broom will be quickly down for Julianne Fortin of the Quebec rink. And it's Megan Fortin, or believed to be her sister, who's playing lead for this rink. As she delivers. And as that first Prince Edward Island stone was into the top of the 12, Quebec will be happy to hit and roll to the wing, and they do so successfully. Abby Barker now, her second.
Whoa, yes! Hard! Really hard!
This rock is curling. It'll find the inside of the nose and roll big. Will it stick around? Just barely hangs around in the back of the 12-foot. Undoubtedly, Quebec is still going to hit that stone, even if it was just a biter or if it was in the middle of the 4-foot.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are just happy to play an end up and down and get through that first little bit, maybe read the ice a little bit.
As Fortin delivers her second. That rock will come just to the inside of the nose and flip gently to center. Stick around in the back of the 12. We've seen this as a strategy from a lot of teams here at Sheet B at the 2022 New Holland Canadian Juniors. A lot of these teams happy to run the stones up and down, maybe carve some paths and get a little more comfortable.
You gotta go, Abby. You really gotta go, Abby. Hard. Really hard.
The Alexi Murray offering is on the inside of the nose and rolls back across the center line.
Already today, we've seen a couple of big sweeps, but successfully making shots from a big sweep. I think we've said this all week. It's such a good surface that they're able to have a pretty big impact as brushers on these shots.
Yeah, it's a real dream to be able to play on sweeper's ice like this. Brings the whole team into the equation. That was Megan LaFrance delivering. Playing second for the Quebec rink. Quebec, a fairly youthful team, averaging about 15 years old across the board. And it's their first ever national experience here. So it's their first time wearing Les Bleus de Québec. And I'm sure they're thrilled.
Well, this field is a little bit expanded from what you normally see. Some provinces have multiple teams. Some territories and provinces weren't able to send representatives, and so the idea being, I think from Curling Canada was let's just get as much representation or as much participation as we can coming out of the pandemic. Let's try and get as many kids in the ice as we can. So this is a bigger field than we would normally see. Hence, you see some of the provincial 2 teams, and the Quebec team is one of them. But it's a great opportunity for a team that, at this age to get some national experience and arena ice, and it's great to be able to get them here.
Yeah, the last time we were able to run the New Holland Juniors was 2020 in Langley, British Columbia. So great to see the youth curlers back on the ice and in action. And there's no better feeling than throwing on that provincial jacket and taking to the ice. You can't replicate that. Yeah, the Quebec Stone will stop just behind the tee line, full 8 foot. Sydney Howitt now for Prince Edward Island.
Whoa, close, curl, curl. Straight, straight, straight. Right up. Good. Nice set.
And that'll be on the nose. Both teams throwing different weights and taking different lines at each of these open hits, but certainly results matter. Not how you do it, it's how it finishes.
Yeah, that would indicate to me too that they're while they're probably watching what the opponent's doing, they're trying a little bit not to read ice off of their opponent too much. And that's not a bad strategy, because obviously you want to see what your opponent's doing, but you don't really know the details of how your opponent's throwing. So, I mean, the number of rotations and possibly a set on the release. And if you don't pay attention to that stuff with your opponents, you may get a little fooled on the ice. But both these teams seem to be taking their own views on how this is going to be done, and so far so good.
Howard second.
Yep. Little left. Gotta go. You really gotta go, Abby. Really gotta go. Hard. Really hard, Abby. Hard. Gotta go for anything. Go.
As that rock will curl across the face, and the shooter will roll out of play. And that'll give Quebec a blank slate to work with here in the first end. As they do have hammer and likely are targeting a blank at this point. Aimee Lafrance for her second.
Ça pue. On est correct. On va même fermer beaucoup trop un peu. Whoa. Good shot, Amy.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Shot.
The value of that pregame practice certainly coming into play, despite the fact that most of those teams don't throw the inside-out path during practice. But lets you get acclimated with the draw weight, and you can be a little more confident in the hack, even in the first end. And you can hear the fans are out this morning. They've been out just about every draw in force, and they've got their bells and their moose calls and their horns and all the good stuff. So certainly has the feeling like a national championship here, and it's great to hear that once again. Rachel Mclean for Prince Edward Island now. That'll be just off the nose. Likely would have preferred a slight inside roll, or at least a bigger inside roll, but
just something to make it a little harder to roll out.
With how lively these rocks and these houses are, it's fairly routine to create a blank, even if the rock is on the center line. So. Julianne Forte now with her first. That'll be just on the inside of the nose. Spilled to mostly in the 8-foot.
Good job, Judy.
Very nicely done.
Same thing.
So Mclean will make her way down to the hack. Looking at a fairly routine open hit. The gravy on the biscuit would be a big roll to the center line. But a nose hit is just fine. Her final stone here in the first.
Is it the same? Control down. Wait, is it the same? Whoa, 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 whoa.
She'll bop that on the nose and stay right there. And so Julianne makes her way down to the hack as well and doesn't even bother to put the broom down. She trusts her third. They put it there, we'll blank this, and we'll be on our way to the second. Final stone here in the first end, coming your way. That rock will overcurl and actually hit on the nose.
No.
Bit of an unforced error there. Probably would have preferred the blank.
Most certainly. So it'll be a score of 1 for Quebec here in the first end as we'll move to a commercial break and we'll be right back after these messages. Don't go anywhere.
When the cab is your office, you'll never get tired of going to work. Spring, summer, fall. Season after season, New Holland offers the solutions and connected technology that you need. From seeding and spraying to the world's leading twin-rotor combine, New Holland has you covered from emergence to harvest. Visit your local New Holland dealer to learn more about how New Holland helps you get it done.
Back to the Stratford Rotary Complex in snowy Stratford, Ontario, as we're bringing you live coverage of the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Championships. My name is Andrew Denny. I'm joined by Sean Turriff in the booth. Sean, any thoughts on that first end?
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams were just looking to get their ice legs under them, so to speak. They were just wanted to not let things get out of hand early. Just get a little comfort built in.
No.
So they just ran it kind of up and down. We're seeing a little bit the same this end. We've seen teams be patient. We saw that in yesterday's midday game. Not taking a lot of risks, especially early, and I think we're seeing the same thing today.
Yeah, certainly a lot of merit in being patient in a 10-end game for a lot of these youth curlers. We're so used to seeing a lot of teams just go aggressive right from the get-go, and they try to win the game early. And
sometimes it means they lose it early.
Yeah, absolutely. There's two edges to that blade. Megan Fortin delivers her first for Team Quebec.
For these teams, we keep saying it, but for these teams playing on a surface like this, it's considerably different. There's so much more curl, and it's so much faster that there can be a little bit of nerves around what I'm throwing, where I'm throwing it. And so to play an end or two where it's relatively straightforward, put the broom down, make a hit, it gives them a little bit of confidence. And so that later in the game, when things are tighter and time's running out, they can have a little bit of confidence in what they're throwing, and they can take some more chances.
Yeah, confidence is key. There's no worse feeling than sitting in the hack and going, I don't really know how to make this shot. Believing in yourself is half the battle, and that's where good coaching comes in, right, Sean?
That's definitely a big part of it.
Line's good, it's all you.
So a blank house for Prince Edward Island to work with here in the second end. Quebec scored 1 in the first
really, really hard.
with the hammer, so PEI will be looking to
Okay, good.
change the fortune of their first end and try and get on the board. So far, a fairly blank house, so perhaps a blank end cooking once again.
Yeah, PEI chose to throw that one in as opposed to throwing a guard. I think we're in for a relatively clean end. We've seen this before, though, where again, the patience comes in. They'll throw them in, kind of waiting for maybe a mistake from their opponent. Both teams waiting for a mistake from their opponent, maybe a flash, then they'll try and split the house, and maybe sneak a little two out there.
Almost right on cue there, Sean. It was pretty close to an error, because that rock will hit and roll out.
Top 8.
Now you're seeing PEI go to the other side just to change the view for Quebec a little bit. Try and move those rocks around and see if they can get that sneaky little miss out of them.
That's Lexi Murray delivering.
Top 8. Line's good. You have room.
And the thing with curling is it always feels like it's not if you miss, it's when you miss and how you
Top
miss.
8.
Because if you're perfect every game, you'd be a world champion probably 20 times over.
For sure. And we've talked a lot about the concept of tolerance or missing well. Pro miss versus amateur miss. You know, the whole idea being make sure you get at least something out of your shot that benefits your team. If you don't get the whole bag of potatoes there, at least get something that benefits your team. In this case, a hit and roll out would be within tolerance. So you didn't get everything because certainly Quebec doesn't want to roll out here. They would rather hit and stick. That would be the ideal shot.
And sweepers are working this Megan LaFrance offering. That'll be just on the outside of the nose. Special thank you to the community of Stratford, Ontario. They've been wonderful to us and very gracious hosts. It's a great place to visit if you're ever in the neighborhood. I highly recommend it. Lots of great restaurants and very friendly people. You can take a visit to the Stratford Country Club. Very hospitable, and I believe tonight is fajita night, Sean.
It is fajita night. Last night was burger night, and that was great. And tonight's fajita night.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
After burger night last night, and a lot of folks maybe listening wouldn't be aware of this, they had parents' night, and so it's a night for the parents. Each of the provinces donates something. Often it's something to do with their region. I walked in last night at about 10 p.m. and people were eating baked potatoes that had come straight from PEI, which is amazing. There were door prizes, and the parents were having a great time. The place was full.
Yeah, it certainly takes an army to have a successful curling team, and when it comes to youth curling, the parents play an integral role. So I was glad that they're getting their fair share. And they like to have a little bit of fun as well.
There was some fun being had.
Excellent. You love to see it. Sydney Howitt now for PEI. That'll be just off the inside of the nose. Aimé LaFrance for Team Quebec. That'll be on the nose. Just inching that rock ever so slowly back to the tee line.
I'm seeing already, Andrew, that they're getting a little more comfortable with their broom placement. In the first end, we saw a couple of, I wouldn't call them panic sweeps exactly, but there was some urgent sweeping. A lot less even right now in the second end. They're a little more confident with where that broom's going.
He will
How at second now.
pass the curl. Straight. Whoa, 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 whoa. Good.
Nicely done.
Oh, no, that's okay. It's not easy. Right. Yep.
And wasting no time is Julienne Fortin. She makes her way to the far end. Bank some time on the clock for your team, and you might need that later in the game. Fortin with her first here in the second.
Yeah, it's hard, Meg. Hard, Meg.
Sweeping to make this curl.
Go, 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 Good job.
And no doubt with that late finish, that rock comes right to the nose.
Right there.
Rachel Mclean now for the Prince Edward Island team, making her way to the hack.
Yeah.
A routine open hit, perhaps looking to flip to the wing a little. She'll deliver her first.
Control dash! I pushed it out a bit. Control dash! It's on its own right now. It's gonna come on its own.
Yeah, sweepers will just watch that one coast to the nose. You gotta love that one as a sweeper. Not quite as good as every sweeper's favorite 5-letter word, which is queen, but just as good. So Quebec will look to replace the color of that stone in order to ensure that PEI can't score 2 here in this end. Fairly up and down end. As Fortin delivers. That rock will be just on the outside and roll to the 12-foot. A little bit of a favor there for the Prince Edward Island team, but
That one, you think a bit more? Like you're rolling yellow this way? Yeah.
as they'll be looking to blank here with their final stone here in the second. Largely won't matter that much.
What? Hit and roll?
Most of these teams are capable of blanking in an open house from just about anywhere. Very nice lively rocks here in Stratford, and very lively houses as well. Rachel Mclean, final stone here in the second, coming your way.
No! No!
As they will be thin on that stone, and that should be more than enough to get the blank, as it is. So mark it off your bingo card, a blank end in the second. We'll take a break from this feature match on Sheet B from the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Championships.
This is where the focus comes into play. Look at that.
pulling for this generation of Canadians and the next for over 40 years at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
And you can see the inside of the Stratford Rotary Complex there, decorated from some local students who provided some cheering placards there. And we love to see that. Welcome back to our live broadcast of the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Championships. We've got action for you on Sheet B this morning between Prince Edward Island's Rachel Mclean of the Cornwall Curling Club and Quebec 2's Julianne Fortin of the Kenogami Curling Club. And Quebec got forced in the first end with a bit of an error. They had an opportunity for a blank, but scored one instead. Prince Edward Island then took the hammer into the second and carried it through for a blank. 1-0 your score as we proceed to the third. And it looks like the opening stone was in the house. So we're going to trade hits again for a bit. It's Megan Fortin delivering. Working to make that stone curl. It does find contact, and it'll roll away. So another blank house. No team feeling the immediate need to use the free guard zone as of right now, but in a 10-end game, there's lots of stones left to come. Abby Barker now delivers.
Copy. Saw you. Room. Line's good. Saw you. Gotta be in.
This rock finding some curl.
Okay, good sweep. That's good.
And we'll rest halfway in the 8-foot. And Quebec will have the broom down quickly there as they know exactly what they want to do. They would like to run them up and down once again. Megan Lafrance now with her first. That will over curl past the nose and be thin. She'll roll the shooter right through. You know, every artist loves a blank canvas. Nothing but potential awaits these players. So a blank house is our blank canvas here in the third. Lexi Murray settles into the hack.
Top 8. Line's good. It's a bit tight. Okay, whoa. Top 8. Whoa.
After so many hits, getting fooled a little bit by draw weight.
Yeah, this rock's a little spicy.
Sorry. No, it's okay.
Yeah, it turned out to be a little too spicy, as that'll end up through the house. We were seeing some conditions that were a smidge slower than yesterday this morning, but the ice could be picking up by now. Megan Lafrance now.
We'll put a clock on this one and see what we get.
Coach Sean is on the case.
On the clock. The girls seem to like it. They're giving a little bit of a brush. So my hog to hog time is 15.2 seconds, and that's pretty perfect.
Yeah, it's a little more congruent to what we were seeing yesterday.
Yeah, in the draw to the button, last stone draw at the beginning of the game, we were seeing about 14.5 seconds to get to the tee line.
Yep.
And now it's up to about
Whoa.
15.2.
Curl.
And the Prince Edward Island offering will be on the outside of the nose, and they'll spill the shooter out.
Fais-toi plus de balai qu'Amérique, Jolie.
Aimé La France, throwing third stones for Quebec, delivers.
Okay, juste à toi. Top 4. Top 4, top 8. La ligne est belle. En marche, en marche. Avec la France s'il faut. Juste s'il faut. Oh, 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 oh. Avec la France. Top 8. Ah, yes. Yes, Meg. La Meg. Oh, oh, oh. Yes. Oh, oh, oh.
As this rock will coast to the forefoot. Very nicely done. Prince Edward Island has the broom down quickly. Not too many guesses left at this broom. They know exactly where they want it. As Sydney Howitt delivers.
He won't. Close. Yup. Yes. Yup. Right up. Whoa. Right up. Whoa. Whoa. Good.
That'll be on the nose. So not a lot of infrastructure in this end for PEI to work with to try and generate a deuce, so they'll likely take another blank here if it can happen. La France with her second. No mistake there. Sure have been a lot of consecutive hits made. That's how it delivers.
Sydney our lone lefty on the sheet?
I believe so.
She might be.
Whoa.
That's the Coach Sean difference right there. They're noticing the details. Nose hit for Howitt. I believe this rock started in the back of the 8-foot earlier this end, and it's crawled its way up to the edge of the top 8-foot. It's Quebec asking, do they need a little bit more ice? Quebec taking noticeably more ice than the Prince Edward Island team on their hits.
Probably a combination of the weight they're throwing and the amount of rotation they're putting on their stones. I think PEI is throwing a little bit more weight on these than the Quebec team is.
Jolienne Fortin with her first.
And like we said at the beginning, I don't think either team's really. Obviously, they're watching what their opponents are throwing, but they're not calling ice based on what their opponents are calling.
Good shot.
That'll be just off the nose.
Right there.
So Prince Edward Island will be happy to see that stone lying on the edge of the house. It's going to make their blank attempt easier in this end.
Control.
Rachel Mclean now. For the Prince Edward Island rink. She settles into the hack, ready to deliver. You guys want to keep this rock on the edge of the house if they can. Yeah, they'll cross the nose and big roll back to the center. Quebec will say, thank you very much. We'll take that. And a lot of trust being displayed there between Julianne Fortin and Émilie Lafrance. Julianne doesn't even tell her where to stick the broom, just says, put her down and I'll get it done. There's definitely an interesting dynamic between skips and thirds, just like there's an interesting dynamic in front enders. Quebec's final stone here in the third end. They'll work that stone all the way and flip to the center line. It's a great result for Quebec.
Yeah, I think that's about as hard as they can make it for PEI. As you said earlier, though, these little rocks are pretty lively. She gets half a rock.
Yeah, that's really all you need.
Feeling it out.
So the third end has reached its culmination point. We'll know if it was all for naught at this point. Final stone here in the third.
Abby, go! String! You gotta go. I don't think it's gonna roll. You gotta go.
So that rock will hit pretty flush to nose and end up being a score of 1 for Prince Edward Island. Here in the third, a bit of an unforced error there once again. A 1-1 score is our tally as we proceed to a commercial break. We'll be right back.
When the cab is your office, you'll never get tired of going to work. Spring, summer, fall. Season after season, New Holland offers the solutions and connected technology that you need. From seeding and spraying to the world's leading twin-rotor combine, New Holland has you covered from emergence to harvest. Visit your local New Holland dealer to learn more about how New Holland helps you get it done.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to live coverage from the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Championships from the Stratford Rotary Complex in Stratford, Ontario. My name is Andrew Denny. I'm joined by Sean Turriff here in the booth as we are delighted to bring you today's action between Quebec #2 and Prince Edward Island.
And here we go, Andrew. We have a guard on purpose.
3 ends to do it. Very exciting. Both these teams were working for blank attempts with their opportunity with the hammer, and both ended up nosing their blank attempts. Quebec in the first and PEI in the third. A 1-1 score. Megan Fortin delivering. This rock's got some heat to it. Mclean will be out to try and pull that rock through the house. It'll find its teeth and dig in the back of the 12. So not a rock that's going to help Quebec a whole lot. It might actually be helping Prince Edward Island more than anything. Quebec with possession of the hammer here in the fourth. Abby Barker now. Yeah, not too many licks from the sweepers. This one's going to glide to the back of the house.
After 3 ends of throwing primarily hits, it looks like the girls are just getting reaccustomed to what draw weight is a little bit here.
Indeed. Quebec #2 currently 0-4, and Prince Edward Island sporting a 1-3 record, so Both of these teams looking to change the momentum there for their campaign here at the 2022 New Holland Juniors. It's a tough field.
Tough field and a big field.
Big field. Naturally being a byproduct of a canceled 2021 championship. The last time we got to run the New Holland Juniors was in 2020, so very happy to see our youth curlers back in action. Tyrock will stop on the top of the forefoot. It's a really nice shot. Looks like it's edge on edge with that guard up in front. It's a wonderful camera angle there from our friends at IKS Live who are bringing us our streaming product. A big thank you to IKS Live. Always wonderful work.
Controller board. Yep.
Alexi Murray now for the Prince Edward Island team.
You need to go hard, really hard, Abby. You have to go. You have to go.
They're working this one. It'll bind the top of that guard.
Sorry. Yeah.
Spill the shooter through the 12-foot. So a bit of an error there for Prince Edward Island. Quebec now with an opportunity to sort of craft an end here to their liking. They do have the hammer here in the fourth, and they'll have a great opportunity. Looks like they're going to want to talk about it. Timeout is being called here on sheet B.
Interesting. They, you don't see a lot of timeouts this early in a game this close.
Yeah, Quebec probably sensing the fact that they've got an opportunity here, and so far there haven't been too many opportunities to score multiples in this game, and both teams are going to play it fairly conservative. So they're going to have Coach Brandon LaFrance come out and have a discussion. We'll listen in.
Elle peut pas y lancer. Faut que ça aille là. Mais là. Pas plus. Là. Plus, c'est ça. Plus qu'elle peut faire la double. Oui. OK. Ça tombe en fait? Ben, il fallait être plus. Ouais. OK. T'es confortable avec ça, les filles? Ouais. Ben, moi, je le garde. Ouais. On regarde avec des faces de poisson. C'est 8 ans demain.
So the discussion was, do they want to throw a center guard here, or do they want to come around the corner? Looks like they're electing for the center guard.
Oh, moi, j'ai foncé dans ta tête.
Interesting choice. I think I'd be inclined to take advantage of that corner guard. Obviously, you're leaving that rock in the top forefoot exposed, but it's got some backing, and there's a ton of rocks left to come.
Megan LaFrance delivers.
Concern with this is if you don't place that center guard perfectly, and PEI is able to get to that shot rock, then all of a sudden you may be putting yourself in a steal position. And we know with the way this ice curls, it's really hard to place a guard. Now, that being said, that's a pretty good guard. That's pretty ideal in terms of a guard placement, both depth and line. But
yeah, certainly covering the right side of the stone. There's a jam there at the back of the forefoot if they were ever to make a play at that stone in the top of the forefoot. Instead, Prince Edward Island will elect appeal. Alexi Murray with her second. This rock's curling. They'll still make the peel and be across the top of that corner guard. Roll the shooter out. So back to the well goes Quebec as they'll put the broom down for another guard. La France with her second.
OK, ligne belle. Top 2. Mais, top 2. Ça l'a plus là. Je sais pas. Meg. C'est là. Oh, le poids, le poids. OK, Meg, hard. Meg, yep, Meg. Yes, Meg. Hi, Meg.
This rock not curling quite as much as the first guard.
Yes.
Bit of an undercurl there, a little bit further up as well.
So my concern, again, going back to what I said earlier, my concern now is that PEI can tap that out. I don't think they can get the roll under without jamming, but they're in a much better position out of steel because there's a center guard up.
And that task will fall to Sydney Howitt. Her first. They'll be just by that guard. He'll be on the nose, and they'll end up jamming at the back. Shot stone is Quebec. Not exactly ideal shot stone at the back of the forefoot, but with the hammer, if you're shot one. We'll see what Quebec elects to do here. A hit and roll to the corner looks juicy, but then you invite a draw right back in.
Yeah, that was my concern with the center guard. It just brings all the play into the center, not necessarily where Quebec with hammer would want to be playing.
And the broom goes down. Looks like they're going to play a tight center guard. They seem content with their current layout in the house here. Single stone in the back forefoot. As Emmy LaFrance delivers. Sweeper saying, it might be a little heavy.
No. Main Fortin. OK, c'est pas poids. Main Fortin. Hard. Yes, Meg. Hard. OK, whoa.
So that'll overcurl and rest in the top of the 12-foot. Doesn't hurt Quebec, but doesn't really help their efforts either. Sydney Howitt now. Her second.
Close. Close. Whoa. Curl. It needs to curl. Curl, Lexi. You gotta go, Lexi. You really gotta go for anything. Hard, Lexi. Hard. Really hard.
Really working to make that one curl, and they'll find the edge and spill the shooter. And now all of a sudden, Prince Edward Island sitting one behind cover. It's like your crystal ball works, Sean.
Yeah. I didn't want to be right there.
I don't blame you.
Now, a little bit of that yellow rock is poking out. It's not an easy shot, but if Quebec could ever get a little quiet roll, then they'd suddenly be in great shape.
Tough shot here for Emmy LaFrance.
Taking lots of ice, and I think that's good. It's they're throwing quiet weight at it to be able to, so they can manage it a little better.
This looks very close. They'll just nudge it. Just undercurled for them.
Yeah, it was a good weight call, a good weight selection. Broom was close, and that's a shot missed by an inch.
Yeah, really close to perfect there, as the margin for error is not very much. Still, they do bump that Prince Edward Island stone out into the open. They do have their second shot.
Just gonna draw that way. I like it. Yeah.
So Prince Edward Island is electing to draw to the wing without hammer.
Really curious they're not going into the forefoot with the counterclockwise turn. I think I saw Rachel indicate that she was a little worried about the run by the yellow there. I think, though, that you could probably put it in a spot where it was pretty safe.
Yeah, it would certainly apply a little more pressure.
Awful hard to put this rock in a spot where it's not just an easy hit and roll. And that yellow one on the right there is pretty exposed.
Yeah, this shot certainly indicates that PEI is happy with a force here in the fourth end.
Go, go, go!
So they'll come around that corner guard and sit two. Might be a corner exposed there. Certainly accessible from the clockwise rotation, center line out. Of no matter, Quebec is glaring at an open stone here, and they're going to try and hit and roll in behind cover to really put some pressure on Prince Edward Island.
Non. Okay. Tu veux rouler en dedans, c'est correct. Quand même pas.
Joliane Fortin now. Skip of Quebec 2, representing the Kenogami Curling Club. Just by that front red.
Really nice shot. Weight selection there.
Yeah, brought the sweepers right into play as they were on, off, on, off. The breeze by that top red in the 12-foot. Get that inside roll off the yellow. It's at full four. Certainly a little bit exposed and accessible there for Prince Edward Island. But not exactly a cakewalk shot. Especially in hindsight when Prince Edward Island could have placed their stone there a shot ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rachel Mclean delivers.
Forward! Abby, get off! Need to move! Lexi! No! Straight! Straight! Whoa! Go!
Yeah, very nice shot there. They managed that line quite well and found purchase.
Another good weight selection on their hits. The ladies are throwing exactly what's appropriate to make the shot. That one, the shot could have been the roll she wanted was there with the weight that she threw. Just overcurled a little bit. But really smart to throw that rather than overthrow it and have it kind of flash by. And
Very well executed indeed. As final stone here in the fourth end is coming your way. It'll be an open hit for a single for Quebec. A little encouragement there from the front end for skip Joliane Fortin in the hack. Final stone. The rock is curling up, but it'll be right on the beak. And a score of 1 for Quebec here in the fourth end, as they'll take a 2-1 lead over Prince Edward Island. This is coverage from the 2022 New Holland Canadian Juniors. We'll take a quick commercial break and don't go anywhere. from the 2022 New Holland Canadian Juniors live from the Stratford Rotary Complex in beautiful Southern Ontario. And speaking of beautiful, check out that New Holland wagon right out in front. That is a nice unit.
Is that how you got to the rink today, Andrew?
No, they gave me a car. They don't let me drive the fun ones.
With the snow yesterday, I would have preferred that than the car I had.
Yeah, I bet you that New Holland unit has no problem carving through the snow. As we move to the fifth end of our feature match here between Prince Edward Island and Quebec number 2. A 2-1 lead for Quebec, as they scored a single there in the fourth end.
So another center guard going up, indicating to me that the team's, at least Quebec wants to mix it up a little bit this end. And then PEI going in behind it, so they're saying, sure, let's have some rocks in play this end.
Yeah, I really like the depth of that come around there, especially with Hammer, you know. Just a top 12 stone, not too deep, doesn't invite a freeze in.
Yeah, with so much curl, and we talked about this before, with so much curl, the guard placement's really critical and really difficult, because a long guard doesn't really guard much. It might guard the path, but it's certainly not going to guard a stone that's directly behind it if it's too deep. So good point. It's kind of an ideal depth, that yellow rock.
This is a Mclean Fortin offering. Nicely done. Buries a corner, and certainly a rock that Prince Edward Island will have to contend with.
Yep.
Leads on both teams are dialing in the weight pretty well. That first guard placement, then the nice draw in behind, and then followed up by another nice draw in behind. That's they're getting settled a little bit with the weight here.
Abby Barker now.
Whoa, where? Close.
Abby's 19. She's a biology student at the University of Prince Edward Island.
Curl.
We wish her luck in her studies.
Really gotta go. Really gotta go. Really hard. Good.
Really nice hit and roll there. Will the shooter stick around on the wing? It will.
Another really nice weight selection. Both teams are picking, I sound like a broken record, but both teams are choosing to throw that quiet takeout weight, and they're getting the rolls, they're getting the shooters to stick around. It's really key. You overthrow that by another 3 or 4 feet, and that rolls out.
Broken record or not, I think you have a very valid point, as a lot of this is a newer development in youth curling. And I remember playing the junior men's game many years ago, and everybody just threw peel at everything. So it's nice to see that development. So the come around will bury, but a little deep. That's rock sits back 8 foot.
Do you like coming around? Okay, top 4.
Yeah, that counterclockwise draw path now looking extra appealing with a little bit of backing in there as well.
Top 4.
Oh, Lexi Murray delivers.
9. Needs backing. No back.
This rock also a little spicy. We brought out the Trinidad scorpion pepper sauce on that one, and it'll glide through the house.
Yeah, we talk about tolerance, pro-miss, and that's not the pro-miss. Something short there that they could have worked with would have been fine. Didn't have to bury, didn't have to get in top 4. Top 12 would have been fine. Through the house, there's not a lot we can do with that one now.
Megan LaFrance with an excellent opportunity here for Quebec. This rock's looking good.
Just got to get it around that yellow one. Ooh, not quite much.
Absolutely.
Good
And that rock will stop in the full 4 foot, and that is dead buried. That's a wrap that'll make your grandmother saran wrap jealous. Excellent shot. It's going to force Prince Edward Island to think about clearing out the front here, as they do have hammer here in the 5th end.
Whoa. Curl.
Lexi with her second.
Just needs a piece of this. There you go.
More than
Oh, I'm
enough.
sorry.
Successful peel there.
Striking bands on these rocks are pretty small, and the net result of that is that they're much more lively. So the ice makers, we often talk about the ice conditions, but when the ice makers are putting the ice in, they'll consider what rocks are actually running on the sheet. So it's really a combination of ice with the rocks. So they're looking for a certain set of conditions between the ice and the rocks, and they know how these rocks run and how they bounce off each other. So they're going to create ice that will allow for that kind of a pop. And that requires the players to be a little more precise on their nose hits. At our clubs, we get a little fatter striking bands, so those rocks don't pop off each other quite the way you're seeing here.
The guard is replaced there, and that's a valid point, Sean. It's a completely different game here on arena ice, and that's where the experience of playing on arena ice is so important.
Yeah, and that guard that was just thrown, I mean, I don't think we can understate how difficult that guard is. With the amount of curl and the depth that is required, that was a really, really good shot.
Yeah, you're a foot heavy from missing it, or one rotation too many from missing it. That's really precise stuff trying to throw guards on a surface like this. As that peel is made, and he'll roll the shooter out. And so sitting two, Quebec will go back to the well once again. And they've been successful in their guard game thus far.
Yeah, both teams are starting to dial in that draw weight again after a couple of ends of up and down hits.
And I've been fortunate enough to play several arena events in Quebec, and there's ample opportunity for that. So a lot of these teams do have the chance to play some of these events if they want to sign up and go. But this is the first national level experience for the Fortin rink representing Quebec too. And they look like they belong. They don't look gun shy at all. They're handling that perfect. That's a really nice guard there as well.
Another great line guard. That's fantastic. Forcing PEI to address it and peel it off.
Sydney Howitt now. Sydney will be celebrating her birthday on the 31st, so we'll say happy birthday in advance. Hope you guys have a great time in Ontario. What a way to celebrate your birthday, too. I believe Yukon's third, Naisha Snyder, celebrated her birthday on the 27th, and I interviewed them post-game and said, what are you guys going to do to celebrate? They said, we're going shopping. Great plan. Lots of excellent shops and restaurants here in Stratford, Ontario, and a very walkable community, so really nice way to spend an afternoon. Joliane Fortin now for Quebec 2.
Quebec team calling out 2-3 there. They're using a zone identification when they're doing that. 3 zones in front of the house. 1 being just over the hog line, 2 being halfway between the hog line and the top of the house, and 3 being tighter to the house. They were calling a 2. Pretty accurate, pretty close.
Yeah, no mistake either.
No, another great line call. Getting late in the end now, so PEI doesn't want to spend another rock pulling off a guard, they're going to take a little bit of a risk and try and draw in here.
Full 4. Okay.
Yeah, two schools of thought on this one. The first one is throw the draw now because you're probably throwing it on your second one. The other is if you peel the guard and then Quebec misses that guard, you've got a pretty standard run back. But that's a team preference and a shooter preference.
Yeah, they can get it. They can get it tucked in there around the button. It's going to be hard for them to generate a second point because of the position of the current shot rock, but Quebec's put them in this position, so it's not by accident.
Yeah, certainly the pressure being applied here in the fifth. Sweepers are working the Mclean offering. Looks like it's curling big.
This one's a little tight, a little light. So with a 16-6 hog to hog, that's just a little bit lighter than what she needed, which I guess is obvious, but the 16-6 time is not quite where we're running right now. I think we're probably up to about 15.5.
Yeah, with a little love from the sweepers, 15.5 should probably be on the tee line, no problem. Instead, a big opportunity now for Team Quebec to really turn the screws on this end.
Yeah, the key here is not to put this rock in a position where either they create a double opportunity or they create backing for PEI to draw to. It really can be top 4 on the on the center line, and that would probably do the job. That would kind of cut the draw off to the button.
Mais si je reste au pire, je reste en avant, c'est juste pour y rendre son drap plus dur. Tu sais, ben, ça me dérange pas qu'après là. Ben non. Mais juste rendre son drap plus dur puis la stresser. Tu sais, je vais falloir qu'elle fasse un drap plein là.
I think if they can put a rock right about there, that would be ideal. That would cut off. It would still be the draw to here, but it would be terribly difficult. And if all they're doing is making the shot difficult on their opponent, then they've done the job.
Final stone for Jolienne Fortin.
This one looks a little light to me as well.
Light indeed, as she looked for a fastball grip and found a changeup. So it'll be an open draw to the 4-foot for a single here for Prince Edward Island. Against 2, though.
Against 2 and not an easy shot. She's got to pretty much get a bite of the button here.
Yeah, nothing short of basically perfect will do. Drawing the pin isn't always easy. Drawing the pin against 2 is always tougher. But you got to exercise those mental demons and trust in yourself. Final stone here from the 5th end, Prince Edward Island. Looking for a single.
It's all you. It's all you. It's all you. Full 4, line, line. Full 4, guys. Coming in like full 4. No.
This rock certainly has enough. Needs to curl and stop. It won't, but it'll find the backing, so it'll be a steal of 1 for Quebec here in the 5th end. A really well-played end. Manifesting a steal for the team from Kenogami. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back as the teams progress to the 5th end break. Don't go anywhere.
When the cab is your office, you'll never get tired of going to work. Spring, summer, fall. Season after season, New Holland offers the solutions and connected technology that you need. From seeding and spraying to the world's leading twin-rotor combine, New Holland has you covered from emergence to harvest. Visit your local New Holland dealer to learn more about how New Holland helps you get it done.
Stratford Rotary Complex as we are back at the 2002 New Holland Canadian Junior Championships. We're in the fifth end break between our feature match between Quebec #2 and Prince Edward Island. Sean, a bit of an interesting game has developed so far. Maybe a game of opportunity being leveraged or missed opportunity?
Yeah, I would say both teams are a little bit tentative. I wouldn't say nervous. I'd say tentative. They're taking their time, looking for misses. Really, I think probably from their opponents. I'd say too that the back ends of both teams are struggling a little bit with their weight control. Front ends seem to be spot on, but the back end players that they're having on both teams are having a little bit of an issue there. So we'll see if the back end, if one of the teams back ends can pick it up over the next 5. That might make all the difference.
And for teams that are, the Quebec team's a little younger, the Prince Edward Island team is not the most national experience ever. It doesn't look like there's too many nerves out there. What are your thoughts on that from a coaching perspective?
Yeah, so we're a few days into the event now. They've been on the ice. I just finished saying that they're having a little bit of an issue with the ice, but they've been here for a few days. They're getting used to the noise. They're getting used to the noise. So they're getting used to the crowd. They're getting used to the environment, and they're settling in for sure. So they do look like they belong here, and they look like they're more comfortable here, and that they can focus on the game. For the first few games, they're going to be, they're going to be a little bit overwhelmed by the environment. So, but they've settled in pretty well. Both teams, I think, have.
A lot to take in, and even more action to come after this commercial break.
Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport. Words we embody. Powerful words. Words that speak to everything we represent. Respect, togetherness, strength. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Please give generously.
Back to the Stratford Rotary Complex, where we're bringing you New Holland Canadian Junior Curling action. This is the 2022 iteration of that event. Our feature game between Quebec #2 and Prince Edward Island underway here in the sixth end. Quebec leading 3-1 by way of a steal in the fifth end.
Control.
No team yet to post a multiple score yet in this game, as looks like that first rock is in the house. And we've seen that before, haven't we, Sean?
Yes, we have. I think Quebec saying to themselves, you know what, we don't need to force the issue here. We're up 2. I want to be careful we don't create a situation where PEI might crack a few points on us here. A force would be great.
Yeah, conversely, PEI choosing to hit that stone. And certainly they could be throwing corner guards, but no urgency quite yet. It's only the sixth end. Still plenty of game left in this 10-end matchup.
I expect in the fifth end break, the teams have 5 minutes to converse with their coaches, and I expect in the fifth end break, the coaches and the teams discuss the tightness of the scoreboard, and I would hope that they'd recognize that there's no need for either team to panic yet. Certainly not Quebec, they're up, but it's a tight game. Be careful of taking any risks. But for both teams, and PEI is not by any means out of this. It's only a 2-point game. It's a converted hammer, and it's a tie game. So patience would have been my message to both teams, actually.
Certainly a worthwhile skill to learn on the ice. It can be tempting to try and force the issue a little too much, and then all of a sudden you start giving up steals or big scores. Abby Barker now with her second.
3, 2, 3 lines a bit tight. Right here. You got it. Right here. Right here. Right here.
And just like that, they'll throw the corner guard.
So all that conversation about being patient and not taking risks and not being aggressive kind of goes out the window. That's not a risky shot by any stretch, but I did expect from the first couple rocks that we might just see another up and down end.
Yeah, if you hit on the first one, wouldn't be unconventional to assume you're going to hit on your second as well. Instead, they throw the corner guard, and that's a function of the 5-rock rule. This is Megan LaFrance. She's 14. She's a student at Riverside Regional High School. She's been curling for 5 years and already in the national championship, so a bright future ahead for Megan. That'll be a center line guard.
You like bored? Yeah? Okay.
So infrastructure is up, and PEI can see enough of that stone to hazard that they can take a run at it with some board weight.
Close.
The task will fall to Lexi Murray.
No.
Lexi's 19. She's a server at Smitty's and Little Christo's. So if you're on the island, go say hi.
Wow. Oh, sorry.
And that rock will be flashed. Looks like it never really got a chance to curl. It may have been a function of release.
Yeah, I think she called board weight there, and I think maybe that was a little bit more than board, so I never really caught the off ramp. Opportunity now for Quebec to come in there and apply a little pressure. First 2 rocks at the end, I thought it was they were going to just run it up and down, but now both teams seem to want to mix it up. So good for us, good for the viewers, good for both teams.
A mixed proportional aggression approach. Lots of handle on this stone.
I expect if it gets by the guard, it'll finish really hard once the weight comes off it. Should get all the way to center from there.
Yeah, that rock will stop in the back 4. It's quite an inviting morsel for the Prince Edward Island rink, but not the easiest draw thanks to that corner guard up there.
I don't. They're sitting too. Okay. I think if we're gonna okay, you can if you want, but I like the peel.
So after a brief discussion, the team will decide the consensus is the peel.
Yeah, I don't feel like there was a lot of consensus necessarily. I think there was a little trepidation there. I don't mind the peel. I don't love the guard, the draw behind the guard though.
Yeah, why play that when you can play the double?
Right.
Pretty well made shot.
She was going for the center one, but that's where the options were better for the peel because of that. So she missed the peel, but she got something out of it again. But going back to tolerance, she got something out of the shot rather than absolutely nothing. With the draw, if it's not dead perfect, they give the Quebec team the opportunity to hit and roll into the center.
Yeah, tolerance is everything. As Emmy LaFrance delivers. She's 16 and also a student at Riverside Regional High School. Shouts out to Riverside.
Stop. Sit. 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 No. Sit. Stay with me.
That rock will coast just behind the tee line, biting the button.
Can you see like half or a quarter? Half. Okay, board. Okay. Or do you like hack? I don't mind hack.
So certainly enough of that rock exposed to make a play at it. Hack wait the call, dropping it from board. Sydney Howitt now.
Okay, close. Hack up. Close. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Curl. Hard. Really hard, Lexi.
She will bop and the shooter will spill all the way out of the house. Quality effort from the 20-year-old. She's a life sciences student at the University of Prince Edward Island. And she represented PEI at the 2020 iteration of this event, alongside skip Lauren Ferguson. LaFrance now with her second. Really need this rock to finish up a little bit.
Should settle in nicely. That's pretty good.
Yeah, very nice result there as that rock is mostly biting for.
So I think there's not very much tucking out there, but we've talked before about how how tight the guards have to be in order to be effective. And this one's pretty good, but there is, I think, the opportunity for her to come around with a quiet weight shot and maybe even get a flop under cover.
Yeah, that would really jumpstart the chance for a 2 here in the 6th end for Prince Edward Island if they could execute that.
Yeah. No, Lexi.
Perhaps an audible. Yeah, they were looking for a kiss off their corner guard to angle into that and found no purchase.
I think she was just dead wide on that one. I think the weight might have been up a little bit as well, but
yeah, it didn't seem to curl a ton. But I think you're right about the line being the issue. Either way, another opportunity for Quebec to apply some more pressure. So Julienne Fortin will settle into the hack. Skipping at a national championship at the tender age of 16. She's a student at Polyvalente de Jonquière. Her first here in the 6th.
That first draw, hog to hog, was a 16-second throw. That's what we're looking for here.
And they'll be happy to leave that stone as a number 2 guard right on top of our New Holland logo. Certainly locks that stone in on the top of the forefoot.
Yeah, that's a great guard.
The double? You ever try that? Or just feel like the double, if you hit, you're gonna stay in the center. Yeah. So it'll still be out there. Yeah. You could draw here. Okay. If you want. Yeah, I don't mind the draw. Think if you're going for the double peel, it's gonna stick. Yeah. I don't mind that.
Yeah, in a little bit of trouble here. They can get themselves out of it with a really good draw. Get it mostly buried in behind those 2 red rocks.
Yeah, it sounded like they didn't see any value in the peels.
Well, with only 2 rocks left, even if they peel that off, Quebec makes a good guard. They're going to have to throw this draw later anyway, so Might as well get the practice.
Yeah, make it now, and if you get a miss on Quebec 8 stone, you can always maybe even get a 2 out of it.
Yeah.
Quite wishful thinking, though. Rachel Mclean, her first.
Just top 4. Switch if you can, there's room. How's line? Room.
Sweepers are working this one.
This one's got great line if they can just keep it going. Just tuck it under. That's a pretty good shot.
Yeah, no kidding. That'll be just behind the tee line and mostly buried.
He's not back to that.
Yeah, it's buried enough that Quebec doesn't want to take a run at it. They don't want to take a chance, so they're going to come down on top of it. Maybe they can bump it back a few inches and get shot out of it, but I think at this point, I think they'd be happy even just to freeze, just to cut off the second draw for a second shot.
Undoubtedly.
Un peu plus. Passe un peu par là. Ok.
Quite a precision shot. And a little heavy and you bounce off, you could give up 2. If you're light, you could end up at least blocking the path, but still have full 4 to draw to. A lot of opportunity now, and Quebec's final stone here in the 6th.
This one looks a little quiet. Mind you, my vantage point, I pretty much always get the shot calls wrong from back here, so.
It's okay, I get them wrong on the sheet, so you're doing better than me. No, your crystal ball is in great shape here, Sean. That is a little light.
And unfortunately, that doesn't really do a lot to cut off the draw because we get a lot of late finish on these sheets and with these rocks, and so the draw full 4 is absolutely there.
Same thing. Same is perfect. Yeah.
So a big opportunity here for Prince Edward Island to put a 2 on the board with their final stone in the 6th.
Clean. It's all you. All you. All you. Room. It's all you guys. There's room. Come on, top 4. All you. High speed full 4. High speed full 4.
Looks pretty good coming over the hog line. I got a good time if they can just keep it going, keep it going.
It has the line as well. It's just got to get by that red.
Come on.
Oh, just short. Really tough shot there for Prince Edward Island as they'll have to settle for a single here in the 6th. A brilliant attempt.
That was, the line was perfect there. She just needed 6 more inches of weight.
We'll throw to a break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
This is where the focus comes into play. Look at that. Canada, say hello to your new champion.
Proudly pulling for this generation of Canadians and the next for over 40 years at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Provincial and territorial flags in the lobby of the Stratford Rotary Complex. Playing host to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Championships. We're bringing you live action here from this morning's draw. On Sheet B, my name is Andrew Denny. I'm joined by Sean Turr of Coach Extraordinaire in the booth. We're having a great time up here, and we hope you at home are enjoying yourselves. We'll be broadcasting all week, every draw, all the time. Draws are at 9, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. All those times are Eastern. And it'll always be on Curling Canada's YouTube page. That's youtube.com/Curling Canada. And if you want to stay informed about all things going on in curling Canada, you can find us on most major social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even TikTok. I'm not familiar with that one, Sean. I'm not going to lie.
There's a TikTok.
I believe, yes, there is. It's quite popular, but I think I've aged out of that bracket, unfortunately.
I try really hard to keep up on the social media. TikTok is the one step past me.
I don't blame you.
I get the appeal. I do. I'm not criticizing it. I'm not the target audience. That's the issue.
You know, when they do make a TikTok platform for guys like us, I'll be sure to let you know. Resume play here on Sheet B. 3-2 score. Quebec leads by 1. A bit of a heartbreaking end for the Prince Edward Island rink last end. They were really close to scoring a deuce on a valiant effort on a really tough draw, and just didn't quite work out for them.
Yeah, I mentioned just after fifth end breaks that the back ends of both teams were struggling a little bit with weight. It seems like they've absolutely figured that out. Sure, she was short on that last draw, but boy, I mean, she was short by inches, not by much. So they're starting to figure it out, and I think that just means for the last few ends here, we're going to see even more rocks in play, and because they're going to be more confident in taking some chances.
Certainly seems to be that way, as the early ends produced quite a few blanks, and blank attempts at very least, as each team took turns nosing their blank attempts. And a lot of infrastructure already manifesting here in the 7th. That PEI guard and a PEI stone in the top of the 8-foot, and Quebec buried behind.
So both teams will get 38 minutes of what we call thinking time to play the game. In a 10-end game, at the fifth end break, you're going to look at your clock as a team. You're going to say, well, I should have somewhere around 19 minutes at least, because I know I'm going to use a little more in the end. But here we are in the 7th, and both teams have at least 19 minutes. So Quebec with 19:30 and PEI with 20:26. So both teams have tons of time, and neither one's. Oh, sorry, Quebec has used one timeout, but that should give them a little confidence in playing a little messy later too, because they will have the time to think through those situations.
Control down.
Messy indeed, as Quebec attempted to play a little corner freeze there, but ended up bouncing off.
No.
Lexi Murray now delivering.
Control. You gotta curl it. You gotta go.
They're working to make this curl, and she'll end up slashing that red Quebec stone into their own and removing it from play, and it'll spill the Quebec stone just to the back 12. So split the house, and Quebec now lying 2.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate.
Tough result there for the Prince Edward Island rink. But a great opportunity now for Les Filles en Bleu. This is Megan LaFrance. Sweepers are not keen to get on this one, so weight should be there, if not a little additional. See, the rock is working the curl. As they'll settle in the back of the pin.
Do you want to just come up to it?
Everything behind T-line in this situation, Sean. So does the urgency to hit drop?
You can't roll.
Yeah, I mean, PEI's got to be careful here. Again, it's curling, so rock placement's really critical. The hit would be fine
T-line.
this early in the end, I think. But there is an opportunity, I think, for PEI now to get out of the end a little bit, if they can freeze. No double there, so I think the last thing they want to do, though, is throw it a little bit wide and heavy.
And it looks like it is wide and heavy. Oh, boy. Scary moments for the Prince Edward Island rink as Quebec does have hammer here in the 7th, sitting 3.
And now what Quebec actually has to do is be careful that they don't set up a situation where they provide a guard and backing for PEI.
Yeah, certainly keeping things on the center line or on the right side of the center line with this shallow draw would be ideal. La France with her second.
Go, 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 go.
Sweepers giving it all they've got. You heard it right out of their hand. They said it is less. And they were not wrong.
Yeah, a little bit high still. If PEI chose to, they could still come around that red one that was just thrown and glue on top of the shot rock.
I don't mind doing that right now. If you do that, you're not going to be shot. But you can draw if you want. I don't mind a draw. Draw? Yeah. Because I think the hit's open. Like, I think they'll next draw.
So the consensus seemed to be the draw. They were talking about playing that hit and roll, but then they figured if they're not going to be shot, why bother?
T-line.
Rachel's struggling a little bit with the noise in the building, and it's a noisy building. The crowd for the morning draw isn't huge, but it's enthusiastic, and it's great to see. It's great to see.
We do love having the fans in the stands. I, for one, love a ruckus curling game, but that's just me. I thrive in chaos.
Hide, hide, hide.
I'm gonna let that one go.
Well, unfortunately, PEI does slip to the back 12 with their draw attempt. So scary hours starting to set in if you're the Prince Edward Island rink, but really a huge opportunity here for Quebec to set up a big score.
I don't think the hit that Rachel was looking at calling would have been a bad call. You're not going to get shot out of it, but then again, you don't have hammer. So if she could have gotten a little inside flop there and sat second, it really would have negated 2 rocks, the one she hit and the one on the edge of the 12, and so she'd have been in a much better position to force. It wouldn't have been a bad call. I didn't mind the draw either. If the draw is made, it's great.
What's that old adage, the best shot you can call is the one you make?
Yeah, for sure.
And Quebec will pull the string on this one a little bit. It'll stop short of the house.
Yeah, unfortunately that one just curled so much that it didn't do really a whole lot. It didn't cut off the draw. It didn't cut off the hit either.
And that counterclockwise draw is still available for Prince Edward Island, and boy, they could use it at this point. Sydney Howard, her second.
Big chance to get out of the end here.
T-line. Room. Room. Needs to curl. It's all you.
Should curl here.
Tons of room. It really needs to move.
If the weight is good.
Really needs
Closing
to
in
curl.
on that guard now.
Yes.
Should
Go.
curl up here.
No, just Lexi. Go. Go.
Ooh, that looks like a peach.
Wow, how good is that?
That's a peach.
Excellent shot from Sydney Howitt in the clutch. Lots of pressure. You can see the sweepers tending to that one very closely. They knew it was wide. They knew the weight was there. They knew it could come up. And they play a little bump on that stone.
Yeah, it's just a matter of trusting that curl's going to be there. It's been there all game. It's been there all week. It's just a matter of it's hard getting used to the fact that it hangs out there and hangs out there and hangs out there, and as the weight comes off, it dives in. You've got to believe that it's going to do that.
Can be tough too if you're not familiar with arena ice. Your eyes can deceive you. As soon as it starts to walk, it'll really go.
Yeah, it's so unfamiliar that you see it a few times, you say, wow, and then you kind of revert back to what you're used to seeing. going back to something you said earlier, that's why the experience of seeing this over and over and over again is so valuable.
So Aimé Lafrance is offering, runs back and spills on the guard.
Not a bad result. I mean, now it's a little simpler out front. That yellow draw that PEI just threw is going to be a tough rock to move.
Yeah, it's locked in there pretty good. Pair of staggered guards on the center line are cutting off the left side. The access on that stone and the right side jams all day.
Yeah. Or back forward, just back forward.
Actually, an opportunity here for Prince Edward Island to stack another one right on top.
Yeah, that we can't overstate.
Right in, there's a little pocket there. Okay,
can't overstate.
Same as my last one.
Can't overstate the value of that last draw. That was just
like back four weight would be pretty good.
Yeah, if you don't make that, I mean, Quebec is cooking up a big end. That could be a game saver in the long run.
Yeah. Completely turn this end around for PEI.
On to skip stones here in the 7th. Rachel Mclean with her first.
Wait, close! Room. It's all you. All you. All you. Yes. Room. It's all you. Hard, Abby. Really hard. Really hard. Hard, Abby. Needs to be at least count.
They're by the guard.
You gotta go, guys. You gotta go.
Yeah, the weight doesn't look like it's quite there, though. So a smidge short. Certainly in line with those guards, as you can see there.
It's not the worst result, though, because the shot that Quebec had before that shot was the run back of that red guard. And now, because that yellow one curled in there, that run back is going to be even that much tougher. It's probably still there, but it's so much more precise now.
Yeah, they seem keen to give it a whirl.
I'm not really sure what else they have.
Yeah, at very least you do have to open up the right side of the sheet, and then maybe if you get a miss, you might have a blast on your last, but does it jam?
Yeah, there's a few good things that can happen here. She can run the red onto the yellow that was just thrown and open it all the way up, and that way she's got an option from both sides. Or if she gets really precise, she can just pick that yellow rock off the button.
Julienne Fortin with her first.
She's close to something. Girls are pretty...
She'll go bump, bump, bump. Opens it up.
Yeah, unfortunately that raised rock is pretty much edge on edge to that yellow guard. And so now running it straight back is pretty difficult.
Yeah, you certainly wouldn't be able to throw it with a ton of weight.
No.
So comfortable in their position is PEI, and as they should be, they'll be throwing a guard here with their final stone. Rachel Mclean now.
Not really sure what they're guarding here. That run back we talked about is really difficult. I think if it's me throwing, and I'm Quebec, I'm throwing the clockwise turn around the pile.
Yeah, the clockwise turn is definitely where the most damage can be done for Quebec.
Tu peux plus faire ça, je dis là. Non. Tu peux pas là. On laisse un, on prend le marteau pour le 8. Laisse un, on prend le marteau 8.
So the team is talking about conceding the steal and just keeping the hammer in the 8th. Tied with an 8 is not bad.
Yeah, I think I'd be inclined to try the in-turn draw. I don't know I don't know how much damage you could do, really.
Doesn't look like you can hurt yourself.
Well, I mean, you're giving up one now. Worst case, you're going to give up one.
Yeah, there's no opportunity to give up more than one, that's for sure. So they'll hazard an attempt, and it's coming your way right now. Final stone in the 7th.
Oh, she's close. She's close. They keep it going. Oh, she's close. Go, girls, go.
Yeah, valiant attempt, but it'll come up light. It'll be a steal of 1 for Prince Edward Island here in the 7th. Tie game. Don't go anywhere, folks. Get a fresh cup of coffee, and we'll be right back after these messages.
When the cab is your office, you'll never get tired of going to work. Spring, summer, fall. Season after season, New Holland offers the solutions and connected technology that you need. From seeding and spraying to the world's leading twin-rotor combine, New Holland has you covered from emergence to harvest. Visit your local New Holland dealer to learn more about how New Holland helps you get it done.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to coverage from the 2022 New Holland Canadian Juniors. As you can see, the Stratford Rotary Complex and that beautiful aerial shot there provided by IKS Live. This is a wonderful facility, and they're doing an excellent job of hosting this event, and couldn't be happier to be down here in Southern Ontario. Our feature game right here is Quebec 2 versus PEI. A real good one thus far and a tight one. 3-3 our score after 7. Quebec with hammer in the 8th. And Quebec's so close to cooking up a big score in the last end, but clutch work by Sydney Howitt to make a really nice draw. Or saved PEI the opportunity.
Yeah, here in the 8th, I think you get the sense that if somebody cracks a multiple point end, that could be ball game. But we're at the point where tie game, both teams are going to have to take a little bit more risk.
Yeah, and we've seen both teams gradually ramp up the pressure on each other as the game progressed. They were happy to sort of run them up and down for the first 3 ends, and then a couple more guards and a little more infrastructure being set up.
And both front ends have been really, really good with their weight control all through the game. The back end struggled a little bit earlier, but have really got it figured out now too. A couple of short draws in the last couple of ends, but not by much.
Really has to curl. You gotta go for it. Okay. Right up. Okay, you're just gonna.
Sweepers are working to make this curl, and that'll just high five that stone in the forefoot and then spin out. Actually kind of bumped it behind cover a little bit more. So Quebec realizing that they've got a nice open house to work with. Looks like they're just going to draw to the wing.
Hard, Meg.
Bit of a new path. I'm not sure I've seen many rocks down this path. We'll see if that fools them a little bit with weight. Sheet's pretty consistent across the sheet.
Yeah, really working to make this one bite the house, but to no avail.
That's not a bad result though either. It's a corner guard that they can use, and it's nice and tight. So
little bump is okay.
Yeah, certainly a valuable stone for Quebec as this end will progress.
Back to tolerance. I think if I'm going to miss that, I'd rather it there than back 12 or something.
Line tight. Line. 4. Where? 4.
At this point the end anyway.
Yeah!
I'd be inclined to agree with you.
You have to go. You have to go.
Always nice to have a couple corner guards if you're going to cook up a deuce or more.
Really hard. Hard. Keep going. Go,
So Prince Edward Island just by the guard.
What a scrub. Good job, ladies.
And that rock still curls up to just off the nose with a little bump. A great example of that really nice big late finish we're getting. So Quebec will elect to play a freeze down the center line here. Get some stones set up. They've got a corner guard to work with and a center guard out front. And they're currently shot stone on the top of the button. Megan LaFrance delivers.
Ok, tapis. Voyez beau. Wow. Faut que ça curve. Ça lâche pas. Juste la poids. Wow. Juste la poids. Juste la poids. Amy. 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 Amy, hard. Hard and. Yes, and. Hard. Hard. Yeah. Go. Hard. Okay, well.
They're by the guard with ease.
Great scrub there, too, by the Quebec front end.
Yeah, just lightly bumps that yellow stone, and they're starting to stack them up on the center line.
I guess it wasn't the front end. I apologize, ladies, but it was a great scrub.
Regardless.
No, you can credit the front end. Front end needs more credit.
Like
think
throw
it was
like
the
back line.
Second, third.
Lead
third.
place.
Yeah. Lexi Murray now.
Where? Fine. Whoa. Really needs to move. Hard, Sydney. You gotta go. You gotta go, Sydney. You really gotta go, Sydney. You really gotta go,
They're
Sydney.
working this stone to curl. And bumps the pile.
Yeah, they broke up that little stack. I'm not sure that worked out terribly well for PEI. That yellow rock top 4 foot now is a little bit vulnerable.
Yeah, you certainly have the counterclockwise angle on it from our left.
And as it sits now, they've got the double on the yellows. They could play a double and be probably pretty hold the shooter in behind the guard, but
a lot of options here for Team Quebec. Still early in the end, as this is the second stone. They're sweeping to make this one curl. It'll be just off the nose and stay right there.
yeah, not a bad result really. There was a slight danger they jammed that one on the that yellow one onto the one in the back button, but not a bad result for Quebec.
Quebec's hitting 1, 3, and 4 at this time, and looking like a bit of a repeat of the last end. Quebec with a lot of peripheral stones that are kind of floating around.
I like this side.
The angle on the stones in the top 4 and top 8 are in favor of Quebec right now. So PEI will have to make some changes. That'll fall to Sydney Howitt.
Yeah. 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 You gotta go. You gotta go. Gotta go. Watch the jam.
Wow, really close.
That's a little scary.
Just off the nose, they'll flip behind the corner guard.
So something we talk about as coaches is having end goals. And so for this end, I think the goal for Quebec is pretty clear. Their ideal situation is to get a deuce. I think they'd be okay with a blank. I'm not sure they'd really want to be forced to one. On the flip side, PEI I think would love to force Quebec to one here. They probably could live with the blank. They really don't want to give up a multiple and score here. So that kind of thinking is going to direct their shot calling to some extent. Well, not to some extent, but that thinking is going to direct their shot calling.
Certainly seems like they're taking that to heart.
So Quebec's going to try and put it in a position where they'll have an opportunity to get rid of that yellow one at some point and hopefully crack more than one. PEI, on the other hand, got to do something about that lonely yellow rock in there.
Right now, they have this to get that out. I don't mind coming like right here. Like even higher is okay.
So PEI flipping to defense mode here, and they're trying to protect that lone stone.
Yeah, Rachel recognizes that if that stone goes away, they're in deep trouble. Electing to guard it. And the issue with the freeze is that if it's not super perfect, then Quebec just comes down and pops, and all the yellows go away.
You gotta go.
A higher guard, she said, would be okay. This one seems to be over curling a little bit, which is trouble.
No bounce, no bounce.
Yeah, over curls all the way to past the nose of the center lining guard. So
c'est risqué, non? Peut-être pas. Ben parce que faut qu'elle sorte plus que elle là. Je pense pas que j'aime ça moi. C'est risqué, j'aime pas tant Julie.
So an interesting conversation. Julianne seems keen to cash that check on that red-yellow combo on the top of the four. Her teammates are saying, we don't like it. It's a little risky.
Mais si tu vas bombe puis t'as plus shot que nous, on n'est pas mieux là. C'est ça, Bastille. OK.
I'm not sure if there's a better option.
Well, I'm not really sure what risk they're worried about, to be honest. I mean, what do they do if they chap the two guards up there? Okay. If they're a little bit wide, okay. As long as they make contact with that red rock, I think they're pretty safe. I think the issue is where the shooter rolls. If the shooter rolls sort of a 10 o'clock there, it might give PEI a hit and roll in.
Yeah, it feels like a risk you're just going to have to take if you want to cash this.
Oh, this one's close. Whoa. Oh, wow, what a scrub.
They fought by the guard just barely and make that shot, and they will sit 4 currently.
It hit it a little thicker than I think they wanted because now that red double's there.
Wow, paper thin.
I kind of like that.
Really great scrub to save that shot.
Yeah, we've seen that throughout the whole game. Both teams have been great on the brush.
So the broom goes down for Prince Edward Island, and the red double is the call.
Some out. Okay, you got it.
Still won't be shot if you make this red double, but it certainly aids in your damage control efforts.
Yeah, it gives them something to work with, too. If they're sitting a yellow in there, then Quebec can't just leave it and ignore it. And if they do try and make a run at it, there's the danger that they jam it onto their own.
Rachel Mclean's first.
Straight.
I feel like she turned that in just a little bit on a release, but
All the way straight. Hard, Abby.
we'll see.
All the way.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. Makes contact, gets the double, and bumps the additional red stone to the 12-foot.
The only issue is now that Quebec's got the roll back.
Yeah, they create a little extra room with that. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, if you throw it just a little bit harder, you get the triple.
Yeah, a little unfortunate that other rock, the third rock didn't leave, or at least didn't roll further than the current fourth shot.
Lève-toi quand même. Capable.
So Julianne Fortin will settle into the hack, and for her first here in the 8th. Sweepers are on it right away. They'll be on the inside.
Really good line call there. They got on it right away. They knew it was a little tight. Got the best roll they could with the shot they were given.
Okay, we're gonna need like control.
Yeah, it came out the other side of the pile there, as you can see on the center of your screen on the center line. But,
nervous times now, though, for PEI because this roll has to be precise. It's not just a matter of taking this rock out. If they don't roll shot, then or second shot at least, then they may give Quebec the opportunity for a bigger end.
Yeah, and a bigger end is not what you want to give up in the latter part of the game, especially in a game as tightly contested as this one. Final stone for Prince Edward Island here in the 8th.
Gotta get the roll, guys. You have to get the roll. Roll. Hard.
This one curling hard.
Lexi, you gotta go. Roll.
They'll be by the first red, but they catch that second red a little thick and roll open.
That's a tough break because now Quebec has that wide open hit for 3.
Yeah, most certainly. And Julianne is quick to put the broom down, and she's already at the hack. So maybe a little excitement now as they can smell a 3 cooking.
Yeah, it's important. Like I said earlier, they've got lots of time on the clock. It's important now to take a breath. In a tight game like this, you get pretty excited when you can see a 3.
Big shot here. Final stone in the 8th. So an on-off sweep will lead to a very nice nose hit and roll in and count it 1, 2, and 3 for Quebec here in the 8th end. They'll jump out to a 6-3 lead as we'll go to a commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to coverage from the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Championships from the Stratford Rotary Complex in Stratford, Ontario. My name is Andrew Denny. I'm joined by Sean Turf. We're back. Sheet B is the feature sheet this week, all week. And our feature game this morning is Quebec versus Prince Edward Island. Quebec managing to score a large score of 3 here in the 8th end. And that one didn't feel like it came out of nowhere. Just a couple of made shots and some tolerance misses from Prince Edward Island.
As you get later on in the game, we expected to see this. Both teams needing to take a little bit more of a risk, try and generate a little more offense. And so there's more rocks in play, and Quebec just managed that just a touch better.
Certainly did, and a score of 3 is the first multi-point score you see. If you look at the scoreboard there, is singles all across the board. And both teams played the early parts of this game fairly patiently, so a score of 3 definitely a haymaker on the scoreboard in this situation. We're underway here, and Quebec seems to be keen to play into the house. And up a bunch. Nothing wrong with that strategy.
Well, because it's been tight for so much of the game, I think they're pretty confident in trying to just force PEI to 1. Get some rocks in the middle of the house. Try not to create a situation where PEI can hide or freeze to something, and try and sprint home.
Conversely, Abby Barker is going to be tasked with throwing an additional corner guard on the other side. This will be the first time we've seen the double corners go up. And that rock will unfortunately slip into the house. Not what you want to see if you're Prince Edward Island as of right now.
No, Quebec's happy to be able to hit it, to be honest.
The team just talking about the tolerance on that shot. They're saying, if you're wide, you'll end up jamming, so rolling in is okay.
I don't think the jam would be all that bad as long as the yellow one left play. That one at the very back 12 foot is not really helping Quebec at all.
No, don't expect it to be a factor. That rock will curl right by everything, so maybe taking the tolerance a little bit too much to heart as they'll flash on the inside.
3.
Opportunity now for Prince Edward Island to throw a corner guard, and they'd be very happy with 2 corners and a rock buried behind one.
3.
Lexi Murray.
Room. It really needs to curl. It really has to curl. You gotta make it curl. It has to curl. Hard. Really hard. Gotta go, guys. You really gotta go. Really gotta go. Really gotta make it curl. Hard. Okay, that's good.
So that stone does stop short of the house as a corner guard. Maybe undercurled a little bit for what they wanted, but
Yeah, I think the flop under that guard is still there.
they seem to believe it as well, and that camera angle would indicate that that is the truth.
Another option here might be to try and run that guard they just threw. Come at it from the center line side with a counterclockwise turn and try and run it into the yellow rock in the house. Kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone there. Clear the guard out. And nothing wrong with this though.
Nope. They'll be by the guard and roll right over and nestle up to their rock already in the 4 foot. That's a great shot.
Yeah, and nothing wrong with that call, especially if you make it like that.
They didn't clear that by much. There was not a lot of room past that guard.
No, and again, we see a really good brush out of the ladies. They were on it in the right time frame there, and they managed that rock right down to where it needed to be.
So a pocket exists now for Prince Edward Island, but they're choosing to hit.
Yes. Gotta go. Hard.
They're just by that guard as well. Make contact with the left stone first. They'll roll over. Just biting the top of the 4 foot. Another really, really good brush.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that. We've seen it all game from both teams. Just great work.
No room past that guard. Aimé La France now.
Good shot, Timmy.
They'll move that stone off the 4 foot and actually removed from play.
Good shot.
Shooter will spill out of play as well.
Nice pick. Nice pick. Well managed again.
Control.
Certainly. It really shows you just how lively these stones are. You don't need to hit a ton of it, and you don't need to hit it hard. If you want to make that pick, you can do it. 2 cornerstones still existing for Prince Edward Island as we get into thirds firsts.
Close.
Hit is made, the roll. Roll just a little too far, but still shot stone.
Même shot, Denis. Peut-être un peu plus de poids. Juste un peu. Pas beaucoup.
Sweeper saying, give us a little bit more weight. Should be an easy adjustment here for Aimé Lafrance.
Meg. Yeah, Meg. Hard, Meg. Yes, hard, Meg. Hard, yes. Hard, yes.
This one does not have a lot of weight on it.
Hard. Yes.
Certainly a little tight too. They're working this one.
Hard, yes, 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 yes. Hard, hard. Good shot.
They'll make contact, spin and bump their stone in the back 12. So a pair of stones sitting in the back 12. The lone counting stones in the house right now, and that's just good news for Prince Edward Island. They got some backing back there they can work with.
Like this way? Yeah. I don't mind the other side because there's backing.
Brief discussion about which guard they want to come around. Originally, Rachel wanted to come around the guard on the left side of your screen, and the team said, oh, we got better backing on the right side.
Toppy! Line only! Line's
I think I understand what Rachel was thinking. She comes around the one on the left side. She's going to be on the 4 foot.
Hey,
This way,
straight,
she's going to be out into the 8 foot.
Straight. Gotta go. Gotta go, guys. Really gotta push it. Hard! Really hard! Really hard!
Lennox going to over curl and bump that guard. It'll spill to mostly the 8 foot and then turn back towards the 12. Yeah, based on that rock position, those two potential jams at the back of the 12 foot don't always come into play either, because you can roll big for the rest of the house. And Quebec is certainly icing for that roll.
Icing.
Don't even start today, Sean. I'm already hungry.
Icing on my roll.
Go for a couple of those Tim Hortons donuts right now, I tell you what. I don't want to spoil fajita night, but it does sound good. Julianne Fortin now with her first.
Switched handles on this one. I think it's more of a comfort. It's a little dicier around the guard coming out of this way. They've got to wait for it to break, but I think they felt like they knew the ice better, possibly.
Yeah, they'll wreck on the guard on the high side. And it felt like you could control your roll a little bit better too with the inside-out path, but
yeah, I thought the same.
Yeah. All right.
Of no matter, it's now an opportunity for Prince Edward Island to lie too. Rachel Mclean is going to throw that draw that she wanted a rock ago, and no better time for it.
We want to be biting top 8, but not full. We want it to be even. Okay.
Yeah, in a good situation here. If they can tuck one in here behind and get a little bit lucky with a jam, they may be in a position to tie the game up. Those little biters at the back can be frustrating for you if you've got hammer and you're trying to manage the scoreboard.
Rachel Mclean, her first here in the 9th end.
It's like 3, 2, 3.
Uh-oh. Sweepers are calling light. Yeah, that is light. That's a heartbreaker for Prince Edward Island. So the chance at a 3 now squandered, and well, maybe even the 2. They'll need a little help from Quebec here if they want to score a deuce. Quebec looking at the same shot they just threw with less traffic out in front. Julianne Fortin, her final stone in the 9th. They will bump that stone, and
Oh, boy.
Yeah, right on cue. The jam. So a really tough rock to manage, and unfortunately, back-to-back errors from both teams.
No, yeah.
It's going to put the deuce right back into play.
I've been really happy with the weight selection they've used on hits. I think in that situation, that was one where you just needed to make sure it went away. So throwing a little more weight there, I think probably would have been a better call.
Yeah, the only way you jam that rock with a little extra weight is if you hit it dead nose, and that's pretty tricky to do. So big opportunity here for Prince Edward Island to put a 2 on the board with Rachel Mclean's final stone in the 9th. They'll hit and roll in, and that'll be a 2 on the board for Prince Edward Island. They will trail 6-5 as we progress to our final 10th end. We'll take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Underway already here on Sheet B from the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Championships at the Stratford Rotary Complex here in Stratford, Ontario. 10th end action coming your way. My name is Andrew Denny. I'm joined with Sean Turriff, the man himself. He's been in the booth imparting his wisdom all week, and we really appreciate his time and his perspective on the game. A 6-5 lead for Team Quebec here in the 10th end. Prince Edward Island successful in scoring a deuce with the hammer in the 9th, and they'll need a steal in this end if they want to continue play. Centerline guard did successfully go up, and Quebec is looking to come around, but another spicy bullet here. It looks like it's going to glide through the house with a little bit of help. Oh no, found some curl, and it's going to stick around in the back 12. Well, that's good news.
Well, still back 12.
Yeah. It's good news because I was wrong.
It's good news that it stuck around, I guess. It's the same situation as in the last end. Quebec really doesn't want those rocks floating around in the back there.
No, that shrapnel is going to hurt you more than it helps you. Conversely, if you're Prince Edward Island, this is a pretty ideal setup. You know, just 2 rocks in for a steal. They're electing to throw another long guard on the center.
Right here. Right here. You can finish. That's good.
Yeah, we got a pair of center line staggered guards. A fairly natural double peel, but not time for that yet, as the 5-rock rule is in play at this event. Megan Fortin now with her second. Falling weight only, and it certainly looks like it's got more than enough. Need that rock to grind up. And it'll stop in the full 8-foot.
Top 4. Hey.
So there you have it. 2 stones in the back of the house and 2 guards up at the front. It's party time for Prince Edward Island. Lexi Murray now is tasked with a draw, and if she makes this good, it's on.
5, 6. It's all you. Top 4. Line's good. Top Top 4. It's all you. Coming off hard. All you. Room. Still 6. Top 4. 6 if you can.
Yeah, those deep rocks are not friends of Quebec, unfortunately.
So the PEI offering will slip to the back of the forefoot and leave a little bit of breathing room there for Quebec. Timeout being called by coach. Well, being signaled by coach and being called by the skipper.
So the folks at home, the rule is that the coach may signal his desire for the team to call a timeout, but the actual signal has to come from the ice for it to be official. So me as a coach standing behind the bench, I can signal the big T, but if the team doesn't call it, it doesn't happen.
And this timeout being called initially because a draw was being called, and I think coach is going to want to come out and say, let's play this double peel. Some very simple words there from coach. He said, keep the center open. And that's an easy one to internalize. Certainly tempting to play that freeze draw, but you're one miss away from losing the game if you start to flirt with that prospect.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of options. If she cleans the front up here, even if she just gets one of the two, PEI can't just let that go.
Megan LaFrance now. And even a single peel in this situation is fine.
Yeah, for sure. This looks pretty good. Really close to the double peel. Ooh.
That'll be across the top. She'll get the single peel.
But that's a much better situation now for Quebec. Just looking at it, the access to that shot rock is so much better.
Okay.
Yeah, certainly a good timeout call, I think, from the coach.
PEI's challenge here is not only covering that shot rock, but now putting the second guard in a position where Quebec can't just double peel them off.
2, 3.
They're going to do this, I expect, for a couple of stones.
Line tight.
Figure as much.
Just 2, 3. 2, 3. 2. Right here. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, the guard slips a little deep just on top of the New Holland logo.
Yeah, that's a little bit too close. I think the double peel now is in play.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to play the single. So they want to keep that clockwise rotation side wide open.
Me. Yep. Hard. No. Yep. Hard. Yes. Hard. Hard. Yep. Hard. Yes. Okay, whoa. Good shot, Meg.
There we go. That'll be a made peel. It just proves you don't have to throw a missile to make those peels. You can make them with controlled weight.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. The ladies we've seen playing this week so far have been really smart with respect to their weight selections, even on a peel. No need to throw necessarily a 7-second bullet or a 6-second bullet down there, especially if you can't throw it. The best shot is the one you can make.
2,
right?
3. 5.
What if you can't make any of them?
Well, then maybe it's a different game you should be playing.
Yeah, maybe I'll pick up pickleball.
Coming off, still don't want to.
I'd stay away from golf. I don't think it's much easier.
No.
Here.
No, I take the Mark Twain approach to golf. It's a good walk ruined.
Good walk around.
That rock will slip a little deep and rest in the 8-foot.
Not in a bad spot, though.
No.
It's very difficult to remove that rock. The back one's not going anywhere. She could maybe slash it across the face, but wow, there's so much. It's so difficult. She's going to take it on. A few rocks left, so she's got It's probably the right call. It's not an easy shot.
Yeah, Mom. Yes.
Certainly not a gimme here.
Yes,
Oh, the jam is there all day if she's not careful.
Yes.
Good miss might be to come across the face and roll out of the way there.
Yeah,
Something like that.
right on cue. She'll flip behind that guard.
If she had rolled, if she had
going
rolled
to
just maybe a foot further, she would have given herself an opportunity, like 2 shots at it. So she would have had the turn they just threw or the run on the red. This one's a little bit tucked though, so I don't think the run is there. With quiet weight though, she can tap it up. So.
Yeah, it can certainly be promoted with some back line or hackish kind of weight.
Wait's much better. 3. Lexi's rock. Lexi's rock. Line. Okay, whoa. Okay. Hey.
Decision time now.
Yeah, do you concede and want to play with those rocks in play, or do you elect to peel?
I know what I would do.
And what's that, Sean?
I'd peel those guards.
I would agree with you.
Half rock on the one on the left, not that one, the other one, and both of them go away. The shooter goes away. The front's wide open.
Yeah, it doesn't show up as obvious on the screen, but that rock on the right-hand side of your screen is actually staggered and just a smidge higher than the one biting the center line. So it would be spring-loaded and automatic with a double peel.
Now, if she gets it thin enough, she can still at least move that other yellow one off, but it's curling quite a bit now, so she may get it.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
That was dicey.
So changes the angle on the freeze of the back 4, and maybe not for the better.
I don't mind doing
That rock is definitely not going anywhere.
Okay, I think we go like right there.
No, and I don't think they ever considered coming the other way at those guards to try and rip them out. I think she was so focused on the path to the shot rock that she kind of forgot that there was 2 of them there. Not literally forgot, but didn't consider that there was 2 of them there, and that the second one was just as much trouble as the first one.
Yeah, certainly more than a couple opportunities to play a double peel in this end, and Quebec said, no thanks. We're going to make sure this clockwise path is open. A stylistic choice. Prince Edward Island, though, feeling very good about their chances for a steal here. Rachel Mclean will offer her first here in the 10th.
Just top 4. Wait's close. As line. Lexi's rock. Top 4, guys. It's all you.
Alexi's all the way for line.
You got it.
Alexi's all the way for line.
You got
All the
it.
way for line. Top 4. All the
Top
way, all the
4,
way, all
you
the way.
got it.
Keep the line. Keep the line.
Hard, guys. You
Sweepers are
got
working
it.
this one.
Really hard.
It's been a sweeper story today, boy. These ladies can brush.
And brush they do as that rock nestles right biting the top of the button on our New Holland logo. I mean, Prince Edward Island now sitting 2 and in a nasty spot.
Yeah, a quote from a long ago TV broadcast. You couldn't have put it any better if you dropped it from the ceiling.
Yep. Yeah, that is dead perfect. So Quebec now having to contest with not only an extra end, but a second and additional potentially winning stone.
Yeah. So they're going to have to think about this one a little bit. Thankfully, they've got tons of time on the clock. They're at about 5 minutes and 52 seconds. Sorry. They've only got a couple of rocks left, so they've no trouble with the clock. They can take their time and think through this. They are out of timeouts.
They're asking for a little help there, a view from the hack, seeing what they can see.
Yeah, I think it's hard to see from this angle. We're right in behind it, but it's hard to see from this angle. The little tap on the red in the top 4 there is. I don't know that it's there. From the view there, it looks like it might be.
Yeah, and the view from the hack is the one that matters, unfortunately.
Yeah. There's so much curl, and that guard's pretty well placed. That yellow guard's pretty well placed. But I feel like with, counterclockwise turn there, and maybe, yeah, I don't know, even back line weight, even back 8-foot weight, just to punk it out into the open there.
Let's go.
You could probably do it. I'm not sure what, on this turn, I'm not sure how, whether they think they can get to the nose of it and maybe push it back.
Either way, they're going to want to leave their shooter around it for something to work off of. Julien Fortin is first here in the 10th.
Le poids est court.
C'est fort. Un peu fort.
Meg Fortin.
C'est vraiment fort.
Meg Fortin.
This one a little, running a little bit.
Meg.
Yeah, sweeper saying it's a little heavy.
Non, ça fait rien.
Oh.
Mais ça fait rien pareil. Il fallait bien essayer.
And that'll breeze by on the high side. Don't go anywhere, folks. This game is shaping up to be one heck of a finish.
I'm thinking. I think we come.
So now if you're Prince Edward Island, you've got enough stones in the right spots to win.
Or do you want to?
How do you protect?
Freeze up to it.
How much of this do you have?
How much of this do you have? Like an A? No timeout. Yeah, we can.
Timeout being called.
'Cause that would be the
Coach David Murphy going to come out and have a conversation.
I think we just put up a guard up here. No, you like barely have that rock. Yeah. Yeah. You barely have any of that rock either.
Barely if he's moving on. Okay, the best thing to do would be put it on.
Yeah, like
you
right
don't
there.
have any of that one, and you barely have that one.
Okay, so I think we gotta go right there. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So consensus has been reached. And really, this shot more about placing the stone where you can't hurt yourself. You're sitting 1-2.
Yeah, for sure. Something we talked about in an earlier broadcast as well. They're not so much guarding a stone as they're guarding a path to where Quebec may be able to draw. Just putting it in front of that yellow one really doesn't do anything. It still gives Quebec the draw to the little kind of corner of the button. And so what they have to do with this guard is cut that path off.
Prince Edward Island looking to protect final stone of theirs in the 10th.
Lexi's rock.
It's Lexi's. Maybe best over and off.
A little corner freeze on that one
really
top
strong,
button
over
would not probably be bad.
On les shots, ça monte là.
There you have it. That rock will come to a rest, and Quebec already in the house looking at their next one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good throw. Quebec really needs, unless they move that yellow rock, they really need to draw the button. PEI didn't feel like if they played this tap that they would be shot. The key here, I think, for Quebec is making sure that you don't lose the game here. So if you throw a decent amount of weight, give up the one, at least get yourself to the extra.
Yeah, that has to be the goal right now, is force 11 and, try and steal your way home. Because it's a heap of trouble here for the team from Kinogami. This shot is there, however. Not impossible. Certainly makeable,
Même pas, je me tirer.
but difficult.
Fais-toi confiance.
A little last-minute encouragement there from the sweepers. For Julienne Fortin. She settles into the hack. The game on the line. Final stone in 10.
Meg.
Hard, Meg.
Hard.
Hard, Meg. Hard, Meg.
Yes!
Hard, Meg. Good
They'll
job.
tap it.
Middle.
Oh, so close. It won't be enough. And it looks like Prince Edward Island, they might have to measure. It's one for sure. We're at least an extra. It's whether it's the win for Prince Edward Island or not. 6-6 at very least.
Looks from here very much like it's yellow.
Certainly looks like yellow from here. Probably have the officials come out and measure it just in case. They're there for a reason. Goodness, what a shocking development to end this game. Here we go. If it's a yellow counter, Prince Edward Island will have stolen 2 in the 10th end to win the game. If red is shot, we go to an extra. High drama here in Stratford, Ontario.
My money's on yellow, I'm afraid.
I'd be inclined to agree with you, but with this camera angle, you never know. You can't see the dial there. The official rightly being right on top of there. That's a much better angle. Good job. All right, here we go. Swinging across. It's yellow. Unbelievable. A steal of 2 for Prince Edward Island in the 10th end. What a comeback. What a finish here at Sheet B at 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Championships. 7-6 your final. Prince Edward Island moved to 2-3 in Quebec, unfortunately still winless at 0-5. Thank you so much for joining us on our broadcast. We'll be back at 2 p.m. Sean, thank you for your time as usual.
Thanks, buddy.
My name is Andrew Denny. We're signing off. See you next time.